the Russian invasion of Ukraine started off with maximalist objectives, attempting to basically take key cities while essentially overthrowing the government by taking out local and national leadership with infiltrated teams of special forces and airborne forces inserted. When that didn't work, in fact, it failed pretty catastrophically. The Russian army was in a position where it really wasn't prepared to fight a major campaign against serious resistance in the roughly 9 axes of advance that they attempted to push things in with. Unfortunately for the Russians and fortunately for the Ukrainians, the losses that they took in the first phase were so extreme that actually Russia's been unable to generate a sufficient concentration of combat power to complete those encirclements. And so what we've seen over the second phase is those encirclement objectives getting progressively less and less ambitious, to the point that they're now trying to encircle and take basically just Severodonetsk in the extreme east, having taken Popasna, which is a small town to the south of it, but which has kind of commanding higher ground, which overlook the supply routes into Severodonetsk. The Ukrainian forces look like they're having serious problems holding Severodonetsk now, partly because the Russians have artillery sight of those supply routes. But even assuming that they lose it, their positions in Kramatorsk and Slovyansk, so still core cities in the JFO area, are still pretty strong. And so Russia looks like it's kind of culminating in terms of where it, how far it can push in really quite a minimalist area right in the east. But they probably will be able to take what remains of Luhansk Oblast. And so it remains to be seen whether Putin can claim credibly that taking Luhansk Oblast and subduing Mariupol, whether that is kind of a win condition. I mean, it looks like they're in this for the long haul, because there's no universe in which that's a credible, credibly worth all of the massive losses as well as the huge economic hits and political hits that Russia's taken over this. Also, it remains to be seen whether the Ukrainians can actually maintain counteroffensive pressure east of Kharkiv and in the south around Kherson. If they can, then the Russians will actually probably struggle to hold what they've got. But of course, the Ukrainian losses are difficult to estimate, because Ukraine has been good at concealing them. So it may be that Ukraine is also close to culminating in terms of what it can sustain in high intensity fighting right now, albeit it's mobilized far more people than Russia. So there's a lot to play for in the next few weeks, because if Ukraine can keep up the pressure, Russia may actually struggle to hold what it has. If not, then we'll probably see a kind of new line of contact and a sort of slow attritional struggle over a longer period across basically Luhansk Oblast and down into the south, where Russia will hold that, and Ukraine holding most of the rest of the country.